And last homework problem, page 526, this will be number 12. So you have x times secant squared of x dx. You have to decide what's going to be uv. If you have a variable that's not a trig expression, it's not e, usually that's what you're going to want to be your u. Your trig most of the time is going to be your dv. So I have secant squared x dx. That's my dv. Derivative of u would just be 1 dx. And integrate that to get derivative of tangent is secant squared. So v is tangent. So now u times v. So I have x times tangent of x minus v tangent of x times du. Okay, so this is a great problem because you're coming across something you're going to see a lot, and that's how to integrate if you have expression like tangent. So our problem is tangent is not anybody's derivative, right? If I took all 6 trig functions and I found the derivative, tangent is not the answer to any of them. So right now it looks like a problem. Doing the uv thing is not going to help because if I did integration by parts, I would end up with what I started with. But here's a trick. You're going to need to make note of it. So I hope you're taking notes. Write yourself a little note that this is something you're going to have to do when you get stuck and it's involving trig. So I'm stuck right here. So whenever you're stuck and you have something other than sine and cosine, change that expression into its definition. Tangent is the same as sine over cosine. Okay? And then when you look at what you have something on the bottom of a fraction bar and its derivative is sitting on top. Whenever you have that, it's 1 over something times its derivative. That's natural log. So like off to the side, here's what's happened. If u is equal to the cosine of x, now this is regular u substitution, not integration by parts. Derivative of cosine is negative sine x dx. And if I want to substitute in here, I've got to get that negative. Divide by negative or multiply, whatever you got to do. Dx. So now if I'm doing u substitution, sine x dx is negative du. So I have negative 1 du. Cosine of x is u. And if I take that negative out, which I'm about to, take the negative out. Oh, here I might as well erase. I have 1 over u du, and that's natural log of u. Okay, so, oops, I'm trying to move this thing, and I scribbled on it. So this one is minus natural log of u, and then u is equal to cosine of x. So if I write the whole problem, it's x times the tangent of x. Now, I got to be careful here. I wasn't very careful a minute ago, and I have to be. I had a negative right here, subtraction. And then I took out a negative. It's yellow, but I took it out. Those two negatives make a positive. So it's plus the natural log. Instead of the letter u, I got to use cosine of x. Okay, that looks ridiculous. Natural log of cosine of x. Since that's, I'm going to put that in parentheses here. There we go. Plus c. And that's it. So that is number 12. But I do want you to remember when you integrate tangent, that's what you have to do. The same is going to be true if you're ever doing a problem and you get down to the integral of cotangent of x. You're going to have to do the same thing. Change it to cosine over sine. Only that one would be the natural log of sine. So keep that in your back pocket. It's a trick that's going to come up often.